Hey folks, and welcome to another episode of Crit Hit Reviews with your host, Arlyeon. On today's episode, I'll be talking about Fictiorama's narrative-focused voyeurism simulator, Do Not Feed the Monkeys. Okay, so that's maybe slightly skewing what is, but it's not far. There's a lot of stalkery bits. Anyways, find out if this title is one you ought to go ape over, or if this chimpy game is for chumps. So the premise of the game is that you're a new member of a club devoted to the observation of primates, though these particular apes are less likely to be found at a zoo. Rather, you're tasked with observing an ever-growing number of people in their natural habitat, and maybe figuring out the secret behind the game in and of itself. It's a weird premise, to be sure, and not the most linear either, as the cages that you can observe in the course of the game are not set, but rather randomly chosen from a pool. What's more, the various situations in these cages can be resolved in different manners, which adds even more odds and ends to the ways in which the stories can unfold. There's some neat epilogues to them as well, and for your own personal story, depending on how diligent of a primate peeper you are. Now, when it comes to playing the game, Don't Feed the Monkeys is actually a bit simpler to explain than you'd think, since it plays around like a point-and-click adventure game, giving you poke-around areas for clues. Though rather than accrue an expansive inventory of miscellaneous junk to MacGyver your way through situations with, you're instead using that information to construct logical conclusions, and then hassling people over the internet by phone with said information. I mean, you can avoid doing so, but correctly acquiring certain pertinent bits of information is important, since the really shady group that you're part of occasionally quizzes you on things and rewards due diligence with much needed cash. Since there's also a resource management aspect to this game, as you'll be needing to pay your rent, eat, sleep, and generally keep your health up. Really, stalking people over the internet is pretty tricky when you're juggling it with multiple part-time jobs. Honestly, it makes for a neat gameplay loop. I'll admit, my first run through the game was somewhat lackluster, as I was doing my utmost not to feed the monkeys and interact, and was also terrible at answering the quizzes, so I ended up part-timing. A lot. My next playthrough, however, had me starting to get the hang of things, as well as figuring out that the ominous street samurai pizza delivery guy actually provides hints about the various cages in the game if you give him a tip. So your tip leads him to giving you a tip, which definitely helped in regards to successfully finishing up stories. Like when you get into the good flow of things, you'll actually end up with a lot of time in your hands to watch the various cages, so you can take candid camera moments of people's lives going up in flames. In the sound department, this is a fairly soothing game. The music is by and large ambient, but enjoyable to listen to, and there's not much in the way of sound effects. I mean, you'll have the scritch of a pencil writing as you make notes and knocks on the door, mainly. Honestly, the latter actually managed to startle me a few times and I was busy fixating on what the heck was going on in the cage. This is a legitimately nice looking game if you're into sprite animations. I found myself popping back to some of the cages just to look at them, since some of their events were neat to observe, beyond the story they were telling. I mean, it also helps that some of them also only tell their story in a visual sense, or look neat, like the flaming tire pile. But yeah, so I'm really grateful that the UI was nice and clean looking. Anyways, with that said, this brings us to the finale of this particular review. Now, I'll admit there's some aspects of Do Not Feed the Monkeys that I'm still curious about. It fleshes out a world that's uncannily similar to our own, even providing a newspaper you can follow day by day to see the after effects of some of your actions. It's neat, though I ultimately found the storylines of the people you're observing far more compelling than anything that influences your own person. On the gameplay side of things, I definitely dug it once I got the hang of things and stopped being the absolute worst at using totally not Google to search up keyboards and solve dilemmas. Seriously, I was really bad in that first run through. Though, inversely, there's all sorts of little Easter eggs to be found by searching up random things you encounter, even when you're completely off track. In any case, it's a nice game to relax with if you're looking for something that plays like the combination of a dark comedy, some resource management, and a puzzle game. Whilst the game in itself didn't grip me, I do think it's well executed and certainly warrants being called a hit. Anyway, that's a wrap, so I'd like to thank you folks for both tuning in and sticking till the end. Whether you agree, disagree, or would just like to share some thoughts with me, I'd love to hear from you folks down below in the comments section, and for those interested in more indie reviews, interviews with developers, or tabletop-related content like what we release on Mondays, feel free to go and hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon to get notified when we have a new release. You can also join our Discord. Click the link in the banner in the description to find fellow fans and become part of the community. It's pretty cozy there. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel, we do have a coffee running now to help supplement funds for our lovely editor Shrimp and to make sure we can provide quality content. Again, check the description plus the banner for dem links. Anywho, I'll catch you on the next episode of Crit Hit. Take care till then, folks.